Hello everyone, VJose32 back here. I decided today for what's on deck to try something a little bit different. I decided why not show you my reactions as well as the actual product. Why not do something like this? Try it out, just a trial. Let's see how it works out and see what people think. There's going to be quite a bit to talk about, so I might actually break this down into two videos, one Kickstarter and one non-Kickstarter. Let's start off with Kickstarter. First of all, new this week from Collectible Playing Cards is Bicycle Starlight Lunar decks. I'll try to adjust this a little bit. Bicycle Starlight Lunar, it's the newest in their Starlight series. It's about 98% funded, 25 days to go. It's just a matter of hours before it funds, really. Maybe minutes at this rate. It might even be up to 99%, I don't know. But fairly straightforward, similar to the other ones. I got a nice moon on there in the front. That's pretty cool. The moon in the back design, different color than before. Similar faces. I do kind of hope that this might be the last one because it's already the fourth one, and it's getting repetitive, really, just a little bit. I mean, it's just, how far can you really go with this concept? I do like it though, and I will pick it up eventually. Next up is, where is it? Cubic playing cards from JM Rancourt. Currently about 7% funded, 23 days to go. $187 Canadian. That's like not even $150 American. That's pretty bad. Only $14 US. Wow. Because I want to pay that much money for a minimalist deck. And it is really minimalist. I believe printed by NPC, I'm guessing, because of the 310 GSM linen finish thing. Very plain box. The diamond pip looks like one in another deck I just got. The number cards, everything, very plain. It's just one pip in the center, even the court cards. The index is fine, I guess. I don't like these faces, just one pip in the center. For some reason, they thought it'd be a good idea to put the value in the center of the pip as well. It doesn't work out so well when you get to the hearts, I guess. Maybe they improved that a little bit. It's even worse when it gets to the clubs. You can't even see the value if they even put it in there, because how are you supposed to put it in there? And the diamonds, you can kind of see the value in there. It's just very hard to see. I'm guessing it's the same thing for the clubs. Just seems like a bad idea. It's just overly simple and minimalist. The back design, more minimalism. Not a fan of it at all. It doesn't get plainer than this, I don't think. Well, it could. We'll get to that. It could be blank backs. Those corners, they're not realistic either, because that's not what cards are going to look like. They're not going to be cut off corners. Joker is very plain. Everything's very plain, simple in this deck. It's not very usable or anything like that. I see. It has borders, those corners. They don't even match the actual corner of the card. It's just trying to be geometric. But anyways, even talks about the economical status of the Canadian dollar, and producing playing cards is a big problem because of high exchange rates and blah blah. There is actually a company you can produce cards with in Canada, but it's not the greatest quality. Next up, Arbors. If you've seen this one before, if you think you've seen this one before, you have. It's been on, I've talked about this one a couple of times now, at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. New company though now, Empire Arts. A couple of European guys from Estonia, or guy and girl, whatever. It's more of the same old, same old. It's about 22% funded, 31 days to go. Looking for 2,200 euros. I'm not sure that's going to happen. I also don't think that launching the project under a new page, the new company name, is going to make that big of a difference. Same old art. Wow. 14 euros for one deck. That's getting up there. Tuck case, I mean, it's fine. The tuck case is fine, no problem with that. Printed by MPC apparently. The back design, I have a slight grievance with because when I look at that, I see the bicycle Asura deck. It's almost like they took the bicycle Asura deck back design, erased all the pertinent parts, and put in new artwork. That's when I first, as soon as I saw that, as soon as I saw this image here, it's like, wait a minute, that looks familiar, very familiar, and it does. The Ace of Spades. I mean, it's fine. The back design's fine, but it looks too similar to the bicycle. Sure. Court cards are all over the place. Kind of goofy looking, very weird bodies. Lots of color all over them. Just trying everything and anything. Then some of the pips actually got artwork in them. Others are just a border. Could be a lot better. The indexes are unusable. There is no index. It's just a number or a letter, at least in the court cards, with the pip next to it. It sort of has an index, but they're all over the place, as you can see. Some is underneath it, some of it's beside it, some of it's diagonal to it. Please be consistent. And the borders on those faces. Let's see if there's anything else. Not a big fan of the aces either. They're okay, I guess. They're just kind of viney and whatnot. But they could be better. And the number cards. Some changes, obviously. Interesting. I don't like how the index is with the number and the letter kind of. Well, look at this. The free here, the number and the pip are basically stuck together. But here, there's actually a gap. Again, consistency. You need to have consistency when it comes to indexes and playing cards. Again, the same thing with the diamonds and the hearts. Pips all over the place. Different sizes. Not a huge fan of this one. Next up, I want to mention quickly Jet Setter playing cards from Paul Rucchio. Friend Paul Rucchio. Awesome deck. 9 days left. Go check it out before it's too late. Really awesome looking deck. If you like Madison decks, you will love these because they're a hell of a lot better than same old boring Madison decks. Moving along. Inception from Jody Eglin, his latest decks. Awesome decks, already well funded. There is 29 days to go. I don't know why I'm looking at my paper. It's right there in front of my face. Duh. Awesome looking decks. And they're pretty good price. I mean, it was $11 each for all free in the early bird. That's what I got. I actually kind of went back and forth. And the regular is $13 each. And it's only $8 or $9, $8 I think for shipping. Yeah, that sounds about right. So it's not bad. They're awesome looking decks, completely custom, beautiful. There's the Intellectus, the Illustratum, and the Inceptus, as you can see. All printed by Legends. All awesome. There was this other stretch, the early bird that I looked at, that I was contemplating, this $53. You get the signature series. You get all free decks with numbered seals, signature cards with autographs, obviously, and a free deck box. But it's like $25 more than just getting the free decks. I could not rationalize spending that much money, extra money, just for a special case that holds all free decks and numbered seals and signed cards. You know, it seems a bit much. People keep, I apologize. It's fine, but it's getting along the lines of decks that are limited edition with gilded edges or special tuck cases, and it's just becoming excessive. And I just want the free decks. But awesome decks nonetheless. I recommend checking out. Nice borderless backs, beautiful blue, red, and brown. Nice faces featuring lots of important people from throughout history. Famous people, intellectual people, artistic people, innovators, creators, as you can see, Annie Oakley, Sir Isaac Newton, Leonardo, Aristotle, Benjamin Franklin, Galileo, Louis Pasteur, etc., etc. Awesome, awesome looking cards. He does a great job with his decks. Fairly recommend them. And awesome prices too. Next up, we got the Acro card deck. It is about 85% funded, 31 hours to go now. Time is running out. If this one fails, it is all on the creator, because why they only launched a 5 or 6 or 7 day project, whatever it is, I will never understand. I think it's only a 5-day project. Really do not understand that. If they had a 10-day project, 15-day project, they would clearly have funded. But at this rate, with just over a day left, not looking too good. The back design kind of has a classical look to it, except that it's a one-way image of some acrobats on it. The faces, they're just pictures of acrobats doing their thing. If it turns you on, by all means, go check it out. I'm guessing it's printed by MPC or somebody. Here's the back design a little bit better. It's not horrible, but it's just not my cup of tea. Moving along, we have, I want to mention this one quickly, Rise of a Nation from Robert Tomlinson and his new company, Barclay Mountain. It is got 45 hours left. It is funded. It is contemplating going with USPC, depending on how the funding goes. I don't know if that's going to happen now, but at this rate, but still awesome looking decks. Remind me a little bit of Sons of Liberty from Dan and Dave, but better, I think. More effort put into them, that's what I said. Nice looking, and the first in a series of decks. Robert Tomlinson is great at historical themed decks, as is Jody Eklund, so definitely worthwhile checking out. Check out these cool wooden poker chips. I might have to add those on. Moving along, Gallivant. This is a relaunch from Connor Handley. It is 21% funded, 25 days to go. Excuse me. $14 a deck. I think that's cheaper than before. I don't really remember, but it's been relaunched. Still a 5,000 pound goal. 10 pounds for a deck. Only 1 pound for shipping, so it's a pretty good deal. Nice looking cards. I like the blue pips, and then there's black pips and whatnot. It's different. It's interesting. Completely custom. One-way cards. Some people love them. Some people hate them. Looks like they're missing their lower bodies, though. And the back design is a one-way, but, you know, it's pretty nice. There's the tuckers. It's all about traveling and exploring. At this rate, it's not looking too good, but there's always hope. And a possibility. There's still lots of time to go. All right, next up, we got Fun Theater Popcorn-themed poker deck. Alrighty then. The artwork is fine. I'll give them that. It's creative. It's interesting. It's different. Usable, functional, as far as all that's concerned. It is 3% funded, 26 days to go. The chances of it funded are not good. I guess people just aren't ready for a deck like this. I'm giving them, credit though for coming up with something new and original. I like the pips you see here for the aces. The tuck case, pretty cool. I remember having popcorn like this at the circus or the carnival when I was a kid. Maybe even the theater. Court cards, pretty cool. Completely custom, original. Not sure if I really like the indexes, but it's fine. And then you got the number cards. It does have a one-wayness to it, but so do the back designs. Excuse me, the back designs are popcorn. It's fine, it's different, it's interesting, it's unique. I'll give them all that. But it is a one-way back design, and it is usable, but it is a one-way back design. And I just don't see there being a whole lot of people, and obviously at this rate, there's not a whole lot of people that are interested in this product for whatever reason. And to be printed by Make Plain Cards. Alright, next up. Siren deck from Jinhao Kai is back. It is almost funded, 90% or so with 20 days left. It's more the same, just a relaunch. They had to change the printer. It's going to be, I think, MPC now because they needed to have. There was a problem. They were going to produce these decks, and they found out they needed to have a minimum of 1,000 for each deck, and that would have put them way over budget apparently. So they decided to cancel and relaunch. Unfortunately, these prices are not very good. $17 for one deck, ancient deck, and the early bird is still available, which is pretty surprising. Usually early birds go like that. And that's Canadian, so it's good for American backers. It's cheaper for them. And then the white gold deck, which again, they still have early birds left, is $22 Canadian, about $17 US. And the other one is about $13 US. I guess the prices are fine if you're American, but and I guess they're fine if you're Canadian because that's more or less what you get in other projects. But they still seem like they're a bit pricey. And as a result, I think they've lost some backers because obviously, if they had all the backers from last time, it would have been funded already, and that hasn't happened. There's also a new Abysses deck, however you pronounce that. Right here, you see the artwork. It unlocks at $22,000. So now he's got the same goal, and now he's going to do a third deck. And I don't know. My biggest problem as well, the other problem is this white gold deck. He says he's got a printer lined up for it, but who is the printer? He hasn't specified who the printer is that I know of. So I'm a little bit skeptical about supporting something that I don't even know what the quality is going to be like. But, I mean, it's pretty cool. Custom. I'm not a huge fan of that back design either. I'm not a big fan of this one-way back design on the ancient deck. But it is what it is. If you like it, go check it out. Nothing wrong with it. Completely custom, lots of effort put into it, as you can see, but it's just, yeah. So, maybe it's just a little bit too much on the faces and the one-way back designs and all that stuff is a little bit off-putting. Next up is this carbon fiber project. It's got all sorts of carbon fiber stuff in it. It is 23% funded, 24 days to go. It does have a deck of cards in here as well. But that deck of cards is $120 or more that you have to pledge in order to get that deck. And it's just a pretty standard deck of cards. It is carbon fiber. I wouldn't mind having one of those decks one day, but not at these prices. Anyways, that is what's going on Kickstarter. I'll show you one thing on Indiegogo very quickly. It is death playing cards from, who is that? Ula Quinta? Sky Member from Malaysia. Ula Quinta, Malaysia. Anyways, from Sky Member. I like that back design, lots of detail. It's very nicely done. The Ace of Spades is nice. But that's where it kind of begins and ends. He's actually got logos here for Penguin Magic, Murphy's Magic, and Bicycle. Get into that just a bit. Kind of a gruesome looking picture there. Playing poker on a guy's deathbed, really. But that's kind of where it begins and ends. The Jokers are custom, they're okay. Tuck case is pretty interesting. But the number cards and court cards are completely standard, as you can see. Metallic ink sets. It's a nice back design, I'll give him that. And Ace of Spades is pretty nice, but everything else is completely standard. My biggest problem is this is Indiegogo, and it is currently, if I find it on my list here, 2% funded, 24 days to go. It is not going to happen at this rate. The reason why I am not, apologize about my chair, the reason why I am not personally supporting this is because of two things. Number one, if I were to back this project on Indiegogo right now, the creator would get my money, and even if it doesn't fund, I've lost my money. Which, more than likely at this rate, it is not going to fund. So, if I back this project, then he's got my money, and I got nothing. And the second reason is because he has pretty clearly stated that he's working on this through Murphy's Magic, which means it'll be available, if it does get produced, at any magic shop or playing card shop pretty much anywhere in the world, which means I can get it anytime I want. So why would I give him my money and then, perhaps not get anything in return when I can just wait and get it later on at Murphy's Magic? So kind of a flawed concept, I think. This is the reason why I think most Indiegogo projects do not make it. It's because people do not want the money to go to the creator unless they know they're going to get something in return. And if it doesn't fund and the creator has your money, then you're probably not going to get anything in return. It's pretty hard if they have a project with an $8,000 goal or whatever, and they only get $1,000 or $800 to actually produce a deck, especially if they say it's going to be a bicycle branded USB-C deck or whatever. If they get $7,000 out of $8,000, that's fine. They can probably manage to do it, put in some of their own money, but not if they only get a few $100 or $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever. That makes it difficult. So backing a project on something like Indiegogo where you got no guarantees or assurances that you'll get anything, it is a no-go for me. If it's funded, I'll give them my money because I know I'm going to get something, unless they screw me over, which happens on Kickstarter anyway. But if it's not funded, I'm not going to give them my money because I might lose my money and not see anything in return. It's an easy way to scam people too. I mean, put on projects on Indiegogo. They don't fund, not a big deal. You still get the money and screw the backers, Anyways, that is it for what's on deck Kickstarter. I'll be back with another video about what's going on elsewhere in the world of cards.